And we're going to start the meeting with a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We will continue with roll call. Ms. Palacio.
Governing Board President Sherry Lowe.
Present.
Governing Board Clerk Denise Reese. Governing Board Member Anthony Bruno.
Here.
Governing Board Member Raul Rodriguez.
Present.
Governing Board Member Dr. John Sparks.
Present.
District Administration Superintendent Dr. Manuel Valenzuela.
Present.
Assistant Superintendent Scott Downs.
Here.
Assistant Superintendent Darlene Robinson.
Present.
Assistant Superintendent Brett Bonner.
Here.
Chief Financial Officer Lisette Huey.
Here. Thank you very much. We'll move on to approval of the agenda. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, ma'am. President Lowe, members of the board, at this time I would recommend approval of the agenda as it was revised.
I have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Thank you very much. Motion carries. Move on to approval of the minutes. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, ma'am. President Lowe, members of the board, in your packets you have draft copies of the minutes from the regularly scheduled meeting of the board back on November 13th, 2024, and after your review and consideration, I do recommend approval at this time.
Thank you very much. I have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. And we'll move on to ratification of vouchers. Mrs. Huey.
Test. Good evening. Tonight, I'm recommending the vouchers and ratifications of payroll and expense vouchers. But before I start, something a little different than that you've seen in the past is that some of our expense vouchers are $3 million and some of them are $2 million, and that's only to incorporate for our payment of our bond projects. And so they've increased a little bit because we have some wonderful projects that are going on, and we want to make sure that we have enough to pay the bill, but they would not exceed the $3 million per week. So I'll go ahead and start for payroll voucher ratification number 10 and 11, new payroll 14 through 18 for total payroll of $19,023,030.37. Additionally, I recommend expense vouchers 1038 to 1045 and new expense vouchers 1050 through 1077 for total expense vouchers of $69,955,093.52 for a grand total of $88,978,123.89.
Thank you. I have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Valenzuela.
Thank you, President Lowe, members of the board. It's always my pleasure to present some highlights that showcase what I believe is the tremendous spirit of community that really defines us here. As the public is well aware, we had an incident that we had to manage yesterday evening, and I would just be remiss if I didn't take just a moment to thank the fine men and women of the Sahuarita Police Department for their cooperation and support, and also the good folks over at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. When we needed a place to take a couple hundred young people, they unlocked the door and said, bring them over. And it was really key to helping us keep our kids safe and keep that operation managed well to take it to resolution. And again, it speaks to the spirit of community as we're always working on the development of our safety protocol. You'll notice on our consent agenda that we've established a similar agreement with the My Church to be a reunification site as part of our emergency development protocol, which is a work that never ends. So thank you. We're blessed to be in this community. I'd like to congratulate 4 members of our faculty, 4 teachers, for achieving the coveted National Board Certification. Brittany Hedges at Copperview, Sarah Mora, who teaches CTE at Wrightson, and Beth Dahl from Sahuarita Primary, and also Rachel Redmond Sims. They're both National Board Certified, and they're receiving the continuation certificate for maintaining. And I've learned, I think from Darlene, that we have like 14 new teachers that are interested in pursuing that gold standard of professional achievement, recognized nationwide. And so we're creating some positive momentum, though. Very excited about that. Speaking of things to be excited about, I'd like to extend to Principal Shelley Lizardi and her team at Wrights and Ridge all the best. Tomorrow, they are hosting a group of external judges and visitors who are evaluating their application in the final stages of the Arizona A+ School of Excellence recognition program, which is also a very coveted distinction. We have a lot of confidence that the work that's done there is of that high A+ standard, and that we will be successful. So we will be cheering you from near and afar. I'd like to congratulate all the fall events. Again, we're 5, 6, 7 days, business days away from the holiday and the close of the semester, and whether it's the band program and their fall marching competition, which I saw those shows, they were beautiful. Championships in Raiders, ROTC, state championships in swimming, 2 winning seasons in our football programs, and a myriad of other successes. It's been a great fall. If you haven't had a chance to check out the holiday shows, including one that you might hear this evening through the walls, I think this evening it's the band or the choir from Walden Grove. So they're going to complement our meeting this evening with some beautiful music. I've been to one from Sahuarita High School, Anza Trail, and our students and teachers are doing beautiful things. Speaking of music, we're very proud to announce that through our 21st Century federal grant, that we're going to be starting a new after-school program in mariachi and folklorico dance starting next semester. So every opportunity we can give young people to succeed and to thrive is time well spent. So we're super excited about that. And let's see, I'd like to congratulate the NJROTC battalion. They competed in the Clash of the Titans in Phoenix, so I guess now they call it the Thunderbird meet. Denise, you have a couple kids there, right? Clash of the Titans. Well, whatever we call it, we came in first place, and it's a competition of academics, physical fitness, military, unarmed drill, armed drill, and we came in first place. And we here in Sahuarita will be hosting I call it the Super Bowl, the multi-state regional meet on February 8th. And that is a national qualifier. So we're still striving to reach that next standard, and hopefully we'll be able to qualify for nationals. And finally, our community trusts us with their local dollars to advance the mission of giving every young person the best opportunity for success. And one of the ways we do that is through our bond programs. And so I asked Scott just to show us a few photos of projects that show our progress with our bond programs. We just finished the athletic fields. We're now working on the construction project at Walden Grove. You'll hear this evening about the tennis courts at Walden. We're building the 6 classroom additions at Wrights and Ridge. And truly, your bond dollars are at work, and we are working tirelessly and with fierce resolve to honor the trust that this community has placed on us and to deliver on time, under budget, and at the quality that our community deserves. So thank you, Scott, for your leadership with that Lizette and helping to co-manage those projects. It's just exciting to see those things happen and to see our students just thrive and succeed with those projects. So with that, I think I've completed my report. I'll turn it back over to you, Madam President.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to the governing board reports, and we'll start with Dr. Sparks.
Thank you very much. I think this time of year it's dark when I leave the house and it's dark when I come home, and we roll through the holiday seasons. I just hope, and I look around and I see signs of it, that everybody gets a chance to step back and recognize the value of the humans they connect with every day, whether it be family or friends or associates or work colleagues, that through this next month that they get time to contemplate that. And that would be my wish for everybody, to recognize the value of human interaction and connection and the support we show each other as people. So that's all. I would hope everybody have a good holiday season. And I think I would be remiss if I didn't, and I don't know if I'm supposed to do it now, but I'm gonna. But Miss Lowell has served on the board for 8 years, so 2 terms, and 8 years of unpaid free volunteer service to the district, and 2 children that graduated from Walden Grove, now one in a master's program at the U of A, one at Vanderbilt Law School. Have been a successful run through our district, and appreciate the years of dedicated service, not only to your family and your religious community and scout community, but also to our district that you have spent many years supporting. And I think it's great that there's people here to hear that, that we appreciate you. And I think we'll talk about it later. I didn't say it on the agenda, so I'm doing it now. But I was here when you showed up, and I'm here when you're leaving. I don't know how that worked out, but I appreciate your service, and been privileged to serve with your integrity, your honesty, your consistent stability has been a benefit. Thank you.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you. On Monday at 6:30 in the morning, I was at Onza Trail to make omelets for the teachers and the staff, and I really appreciated that opportunity. I'm quite the omelet flipper. Just I'm not bragging at that. Charlene was there, Denise there. They can vouch. I didn't make a mess. I don't know if they liked it, but I'm going to go ahead and take it. Nobody threw anything at me, so I'm taking the win. I take the win. And with that, I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Be safe, and I'll see you next year.
Mr. Bruno.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that the Sahuarita School District has a lot of traditions, and I've had the privilege to be involved in one of those traditions for almost 50 years, and that's the Thanksgiving feast at Sopri Elementary School. And this year, I would say to the staff who are here, it was over the top. I have never seen that much participation from the community and parents and folks just coming in to sit with the students and get to know them and have a Thanksgiving meal. I was very impressed, and I was glad to be there. I would also add that because of the holiday, I attended an event known as Jingle Mingle. And that was an interesting event between community members and teachers who are trying to find community service places for their students and their classes. And it was well represented by nonprofits as well as business folks. And they hope to expand the program. So any of you who might need some assistance come Christmas time next year, I would encourage you to look for that and do some volunteerism through your business and through your job, and work with the students here. These students are from across the district and all schools. And so it was a great event. And then finally, because of the holidays, I had the honor of walking with these 4 other people at the Sahuarita parade. And I enjoyed the company. I hope they enjoyed my company. So as the holidays move forward, I would just reiterate what John said is look out for your family, be thankful for what you have, and Carrie will be missed.
Mrs. Reese.
So I also got to spend some time at Onza flipping omelets. My flipping of omelets got progressively better the longer the morning went on. So first person ended up with a scramble, and then by the end it really began to look like an omelet. So it was a good time. I also got to attend the Sopri Thanksgiving, and that I can attest that was a fantastic community event. So I'm really looking forward to that tradition continuing in our district. Music concerts have been fantastic. There's been all kinds of them the last few weeks. So if you get a chance to take one in, they've been a lot of fun. And then I would also like to thank Ms. Lowell. I came onto the board in middle of summer in 2019 and almost immediately ended up at a conference with everyone else on the board. And Sherry definitely took me under her wing and kind of showed me the ropes a little bit. And so thank you for your mentorship. Thank you for showing me how to be a mom in this position. And so you will definitely be missed.
Thank you very much. I would just say it's been a fantastic 8 years. I tell my kids if sometimes, well, my last presidency was in 2020, as we all know, it was COVID. And so you don't learn unless you're challenged. And so even with all the bumps, it's been a wonderful experience. And we make it look easy, but if you look at school boards across our state, you won't see 5 members getting along. It's very, very rare, and we're all very different, but we all work really hard to get along. And because a healthy board, we all are all here to support the kids, and we're giving all the kids the awards and the recognitions. And if we do what we do well, the superintendent does what he does well, and then it goes down to the teachers. And so I thank you guys for electing, our community for electing individuals who are willing to work together. And I know that Amy will fill this seat well. So thank you very much.
Well said. Well said. Well said. Yeah.
So anyway, so thank you very much. And I do cry at commercials, so we won't take it all personally. They are laughing and they know, so it's good. So anyway, so thank you very much. I look forward to the next chapter and turning out the lights tonight. And we will move on to the best part, the recognition of staff, students, and community. Dr. Valenzuela.
Thank you, President Lowell. And I'll reserve my words for in a little bit here. But yeah, one of the most special parts of our board meetings, and I think it reflects the vision and the heart of the board, is the opportunity to say thank you and to recognize the achievements of the people who are part of our school community. The first group that I'd like to introduce you to this evening is Coach Sam Gilardi and the young men of the Sahuarita High School baseball program. A lot of you know that I love sports and I love baseball. And one of the reasons is because sports teaches some of life's most important lessons. You work hard, you set goals. When you fall down, you get back up. You keep working hard. You compete with honor, with sportsmanship. And if you do those things, you might fail sometimes, but you'll eventually win. And nobody exemplifies those ideals more than Coach Sam Gilardi. And I think to say that he teaches these young men lessons for life is exemplified in his request to come with his team to talk about a project that they've initiated for multiple years to serve others. Coach Sam and whoever else you'd like to send up to the microphone, it's your turn. Come on up. Over there, Sam, at the mic, sir.
Okay, this won't be long, but I want to thank my baseball team for showing up today. We had to leave practice early to get up here, so they did not dress for the occasion. But forgive them for that. Every year we do a golf tournament for the last decade, Ruben. And this is Ruben and Kathy Espinoza. They are from the Hope Matters Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So for the last decade, we run a golf tournament. We raise monies. We donate money back to Hope Matters. Our kids work hard at attaining foursomes, working the golf course. It's a year-long process. So when our kids learn to give back to the community, give back to their organization, I think it teaches them, like like Dr. Valenzuela says, life lessons. So this year, EJ is going to present Hope Matters another check. We will continue to do the golf tournament very long time. And I just want to turn it over real quick to Ruben and Kathy. Let them know what they do with the money. They do not go to Hawaii or anything with the money. I'm sure they use it for very good things, or Vegas. Let them know what you do, and let them know what you do with the monies and everything about Hope Matters. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Sam and his boys have done such a great job. It's been a wonderful 10 years. Again, this isn't possible without the leadership of their coach and the supporting board. It is about life lessons, and let me tell you, Sam works these boys really hard. We see you guys running around the day of the golf tournament. Nobody is allowed to sit idle, and you guys work so hard at raising money for our foundation. The money that we raise predominantly goes to two areas. One is to provide uninsured women of Southern Arizona with free mammograms during the month of October, and that is done through the El Rio Foundation. This year we were able to provide 223 free mammograms, and then we also provide funds for transportation. Again, it's Southern Arizona, so that includes the Mariposa Community Health Center down in Nogales. When Komen pulled out of Arizona, they took all that funding with them. And so we provide them with funding for transportation because their patients need to come to Green Valley or to Tucson for their treatments. And as you all know how expensive gas is. So we do what we can to provide, to spread the wealth and just make sure that women are getting the support that they need. So once again, thank you so much. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you.
So at this time, E.J. Meyer, second baseman, shortstop, man of all trades, is going to present the check to Hope Matters Breast Cancer Research. A big round of applause for Hope Matters. Thank you. Thank you very much, and good job to you. We're going to miss you. Good job. We're going to excuse ourselves because these guys got to get ready for finals.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for inviting us here. So I want to say thank you. Coach Sam's a big inspiration and leader to us. Colton Johnson's a big leader to us. Everyone here on the team, I love all of them. So just thank you guys for having us here. And yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Thank you very much.
And Madam President, as they exit, I will go ahead and move to the other item under community, which is listed as governing board member recognition. As I observed, and understandably so, your peers on the board did not miss an opportunity to express with sincere, heartfelt appreciation their gratitude for your service. You know, one of the things that I think it was Dr. Sparks mentioned about the fact that, and a lot of people don't know that school board members are not paid. It's a total volunteer service. I tell people it's probably the purest form of elected public service that's still left in America, because they're people from all walks of life in their local communities who step up to run for office because they genuinely care about the mission of providing a quality public education for every young person. And so they give of their time. And trust me, it's a lot of time. I know firsthand. I see it. You know, the great American educator and former U.S. Commissioner of Education, Dr. Ernest Boyer, once said, "To be fully human, one must serve." And when I think of those words, I do think of Sherry in many ways. And I call her by her first name. I'm proud to say that after all these years, she's my friend. And Sherry came on board in 2016, as was mentioned. Her two amazing sons went through our school system and frankly are amazing ambassadors for the outcomes of the Sahuarita Unified School District, the dedicated faculty and staff, the programs. Ted and Rob are doing amazing things, and I tell them they're going to run for president or something, and I'll vote for them for sure. And so she was elected, and then she ran again. As you can see among these folks here, I think the majority of them have been here multiple terms, and it is a big commitment. So she ran again, as Sherry mentioned, to timing is everything, and she assumed the president's gavel as COVID came in during the height, or I guess you'd call it the depths of COVID. And she assumed that gavel with great courage and steadiness and just commitment to the work in a time that was, at the very least, turbulent. So I thank you for that. As was mentioned, courage, wisdom. A lot of the things that Sherry does, people don't even know because she really doesn't do it so that people can shine the spotlight. I remember probably, I think it was maybe last Christmas or the one before, she called and she said, could I have a little bit of help to take like 100 pillows, handmade pillows, down to Sopery so that every kid could get their own fresh, brand new pillow, hand embroidered or whatever it is that she does. She's very talented, quilts, all this stuff. And so there we are. I think it took like 2 big vans or something to get the stuff down there. And she did it just because that's where her heart's at. So just wise counselor, steady hand, friend, amazing colleague to her peers, and just somebody who wants to give to make the community the best that it can be. Now, she told me that she didn't want anything tonight, and I gently, proverbially twisted her arm to agree to put it on the agenda. It is proper for people to know stories and examples of people who serve, so that we all might be inspired in some little way to do what we can to make our communities the best that they can be. So thank you for letting us do this, Sherry. I know it's kind of, the spotlight is kind of out of the norm of your ideal, but it is important. And so this evening we have a special token of our appreciation. We have some flowers, and we have a special, it's not really a plaque because it's really cool. Betsy found this. It's like something you'd want to put on your mantle, and it looks really, really nice. Check this out. And it has like a picture frame. It has like a little thing where you could like put it on, and it's even in Sahuarita blue. And I'm just going to read it. It says, "Thank you for your service, Sherry Lowell, Sahuarita Unified School District Governing Board Member, January 1, 2017 to December 31, 2024. Congratulations, and thank you, Sherry." And I'm glad nobody's left. We haven't done the students yet, and I'm glad. That was by design, because thanks to Chef Raul and our friends at Southwest Food Service Excellence, they have baked for us individually wrapped special edition cookies with the trademark S brand. Let me share it. I love it. I love it. And so we'd like to invite all of you, after we do the student recognitions here shortly, please take 1 or 2 and enjoy them in recognition and in appreciation of our friend, our president, Sherry Lowell.
Dr. Valenzuela. Madam President, I know you all want to go home. You're like, it's late, and we appreciate you being here and listening to this. And I jumped the gun earlier because I was so afraid that Sherry was going to talk you into taking it off the agenda so that she would avoid it. But I just wanted to make one last statement. Whenever I think of Mrs. Lowell, I think of Sherry. I think of the Bernard Shaw stanza, and he says, I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community, and that as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die. For the harder I work, the more I live. I rejoice in life for its own sake. Life is no brief candle to me. It is a sort of splendor torch which I've got a hold of for a moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to the next future. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Well, I would like to thank the community for electing people who aren't in it for themselves. And there are people who sat in this chair before me, Elaine Hall, Chris Ham, Kevin Alpaca. And so we have had lots of great examples of leadership that have rolled off, and I am happy to be one of them rolling off and continuing to serve in other matters. And like I said, I'm very happy that Amy is rolling on. So the community has done a great job, and the board works very hard for the kids and to get along. So thank you very much. Thanks for hanging in there with us during this. I apologize.
No, congratulations. And again, thank you, Sherry. And if it would be okay, we'll go ahead and move on to our next recognition, which is our December Support Staff Team Member of the Month. And for those honors, I'll turn it over to Mr. Downs.
Check. There we go.
There you go.
Thank you, Dr. Valenzuela. As many know, we have over 800 employees in our organization, and half of them are our support staff. And certainly, we cannot do our mission without the support staff. And this month's nominee is no exception to the excellence that permeates out of her office. And when I say the name, you'll agree with me 100%. Without any further ado, it's my pleasure to read this nomination from Mr. Brett Bonner, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. Mr. Bonner has nominated Susanna Albay as the Sahuarita Unified School District Support Staff Member of the Month.
Support staff member, and then the kids.
Mrs. Albay's expertise and professional judgment is on point. She is a strong advocate for education and works tirelessly to serve others. Her trust, work ethic, and commitment to serving all students is greatly respected. She speaks the truth and is not shy in providing critical feedback that will support the growth of district initiatives. Susanna represents her district-level role with such professionalism, leadership, and with a service-oriented mindset. With the utmost sincerity, the 12-year journey, district-wide initiatives, commitment to helping others, service before self, and doing the right thing has made all the difference in her life's work. Mrs. Albay, thank you for your years of dedicated service, consistently being there for our team time and time again, and becoming a lifelong friend again from Mr. Bonner. You serve Sahuarita Unified School District mission with purpose and exemplify the meaning of quality service. Again, Mrs. Susanna Albay, the Sahuarita Unified School District Support Staff Member of the Month.
Hey, hey. Felicidades. And Madam President, if it would be okay, we will move right along to the recognition of our amazing young people, our amazing students. You know, I heard a couple people made comments and well-deserved affirmation of Tom and Sherry Lowell's kids who, well, they're not kids anymore, but they're amazing, and I'm pretty sure that they were both recognized as leaders in character not that long ago, because they're still young. My point being is that this honor is so special because it's not just about making straight A's. It's not just about getting the highest test score. It's about being committed to a vision where citizenship matters, character counts, and how you treat your fellow man and woman is important, and that by setting an example of character, you're helping to move our education mission forward, our country forward, your family and your community. And parents and grandparents and nanas and tatas and aunts and uncles, thank you for being here because you are the first and most influential shapers of your children's character and citizenship. We are partners in the pursuit, and we stand and sit in acknowledgement and in respect of that, and we're proud to honor these young people for the example that they set in their school campuses, and we know that as they grow, they're going to continue to shine. So thank you. We honor you. Mrs. Lowell will present you when you come with your certificate, your special gift card to the bookstore, I think it's Barnes & Noble, and your letter from me acknowledging your recognition as a leader in character. So here we go. And as usual, Mr. Bonner is in his post. After you come down here, he'll position you on the stairs, and we've got the routine down where we'll take a picture so you all can be in next week's edition of the local paper, the holiday edition. So it'll be great. All right, here we go. Leaders in character for December, starting with the leader in character from Sopri Elementary School. Congratulations, Brianna Velasquez Pina. Congratulations, Brianna. We are super proud of you. And while you're getting your picture taken and coming around, I'm going to proceed to recognize the leaders in character from Anza Trail School. Now, keep in mind that Anza Trail is kind of two schools in one, so we honor an elementary student and also a middle school student. So, the middle school leader in character from Anza Trail is also a second grader, just like Brianna. And that student is Emily Walker. Emily. Way to go, Emily. Come on down here and be recognized while I proceed to tell you about the leader in character from the middle school grades at Anza Trail. Congratulations, Rafael Arcelas Morales. I'm telling you, we have amazing students and we are very proud of them. And I'm going to tell you about another one, and that individual is the leader in character from Sahuarita Primary School. Congratulations, first grader Camila Romero. Congratulations, Camila. Smile for the camera. And we'll move on to our leader in character from Sahuarita Intermediate School. Congratulations, leader in character, Isabella Ruiz. Congratulations, Isabella. And we move, I guess you'd say, across the street to Copperview, where our leader in character is another second grader. Congratulations, Nalani King. Congratulations, Nalani. We are super proud of you. And we're also proud of the leaders in character from Wrightson Ridge. Again, we have an elementary and a middle school student here. Beginning with a first grader, congratulations, Wesley Fullerton. Way to go, Wesley. We are super proud of you, as we are your classmate from Wrightson Ridge. Congratulations, seventh grader Anissa Mendoza. Good job. Congratulations, Anissa. And we will now recognize the leader in character from Sahuarita Middle School. Congratulations, Ava Cutbirth. Keep up the good work. And we now move to Sahuarita High School, home of the Mustangs, where it's my honor to recognize their leader in character, who happens to be a senior. Congratulations, Mireya Izaguirre. Congratulations and good luck. Congratulations, Mireya. And we will now recognize the leader in character from Walden Grove High School, who's also a senior. Congratulations, Donna Monique Paredes Cambrack. I don't see Donna, but we'll make sure that that award is delivered. And we round out this evening's event. I will tell you, I know this student is not here, but I thought you might be interested in knowing why not. This student's in first grade. Some of y'all that follow rodeo know that this is like the week in Vegas where they have like that, they call it the NFR. It's like the big rodeo deal. So they have like a junior world international version of it. It's called the Toughest World Rodeo or something. It's in Vegas, same place. And one of our students from Sahuarita Digital Pathways Academy, our leader in character, qualified for that event. Bristol Perry's in first grade. Wow, I couldn't compete with that. So we will give a congratulatory applause and good wishes, good vibes to Las Vegas. So congratulations to Bristol. Sorry, Manny. So then, oh, gotcha. Here's what she said. You're the volunteer before the students next time so that there's a big, yeah. Gotcha. Well, congratulations to all of you, and thank you for sticking around for a few more minutes. One more round of applause. So, it's been stated a few times what a healthy, positive, servant-oriented board we have. And as the one sole employee that directly works for the board, I can attest to the fact that it is true. And I just got an example of it right now. Thank you, Mrs. Reese. Dr. See, it's a team effort. You'll understand. So we are relaunching a new award. It's new, but it's old. You know, sometimes we refer to things now as pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. And before, long ago, we had a program to not only acknowledge, but to recognize that volunteers are a critical part of what we do, whether they're driving an oversized truck to get bands to competitions, or sewing uniforms so that the students are ready for their competitions, or tutoring students how to read, or volunteering to coach a sports team. Our volunteers are a vital link of that spirit of community that brings us all together in common commitment to help every student be the best that he or she can be. So it's worthy. And I will say it's fitting that on her last official board meeting, Mrs. Lowell asked if we could reinstitute this program to recognize one outstanding volunteer each month, so the schools will rotate, who exemplify that spirit of volunteerism and of service, and who are deserving of being recognized in a special way in front of the entire community so that that message of service and of volunteerism can continue to grow. And so this evening, we're going to kick this off with a very special recognition. And again, from here forth, we're doing it every month. Although we're going to change the order a little bit, right, Mrs. Reese? But I think Mrs. Reese is going to do the honors this evening, as I understand it. Denise.
So tonight's honoree was nominated by Shelley Lazardi from Wrightson Ridge School. And the volunteer of the month is Jennifer Lee. So Jennifer Lee has been an integral part of the Wrightson Ridge community since the school opened its doors in 2019. Prior to that, she generously dedicated her time as a volunteer at Onza Trail, where she played a pivotal role in establishing their READS program. This initiative paired middle school students with elementary students, fostering a love of reading and creating meaningful mentorship opportunities. When Wrightson Ridge opened, Mrs. Lee brought her expertise and passion to the new school, once again helping to launch the READS program, which continues to benefit countless students. Since then, Mrs. Lee has been a constant and beloved presence on campus. She dedicates her time to teaching art lessons in elementary classrooms, filling a vital gap since art is not a part of the elementary curriculum. Her mission to nurture creativity in young students has had a lasting impact. Through her lessons, students have had the chance to explore their artistic talents, creating beautiful pieces of art they proudly share with their families. Teachers eagerly anticipate her visits, appreciating the collaboration and the joy she brings to their classroom. Mrs. Lee's generosity goes beyond her time and talents. Each year, she contributes funds to help purchase art supplies for the program. Her personal investment in the success of the art lessons is evident, as much of the material comes from her own pocket. Her selflessness and dedication exemplify her heart of service and her unwavering commitment to enriching the lives of students. This year's school theme, Inspire, perfectly captures the essence of Jennifer Lee. She is a true inspiration to students, staff, and the entire Wrightson Ridge community. Her dependability, talent, and ability to build strong relationships with everyone she meets makes her a standout volunteer. Mrs. Lee is a shining example of what it means to give selflessly, and we are forever grateful for her efforts. For all that she has done and continues to do, Jennifer Lee is the most deserving of the volunteer award. She is a remarkable individual whose impact on Wrightson Ridge will be felt for years to come. We are truly blessed to have her as a part of our school family.
Mrs. Lee. Well, and thank you. Congratulations, Mrs. Lee. Thank you for leading by example and service. And thank you all for sticking around for this very special presentation and for being here this evening during what we all know is a extraordinarily busy time of year. So this is an appropriate time if you need to go to homework or other events or Christmas parties or whatever. But please take a cookie on your way out. And thank you for being here. Have a great holiday. That's cool. Oh, thank you. These things matter, don't they? They do. It's the greatest thing you can do as a leader. Leader's not a position, it's being an example of good and of right. And thank you. And thank you for the example that you're setting and shaping with your children. That's the future right there. That's the future. And you know what? And I'm optimistic. The future's what? I bet it's you might be president of the United States someday. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, sir. And your words mean a lot. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, offset. So what time should we come for lunch? Oh. Okay. Would you be? Okay. I'll be there. Thanks for being here. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's the White House. And that's mandatory. You don't get a check if you don't go. We know how to clear a house, don't we?
Well, the cookies are all gone, so that's what they're.
Gotta go study for finals. Hey, you got this. Gotta stay healthy.
You're going to be at the White Elephant tomorrow?
Yes, sir. You too? So this 12:15 thing will actually be better. Yeah.
You're not gonna go to.
I will be there for lunch. Yeah. Yes, 12:15. Thank you.
Oh man.
Well, we're kind of regrouping here. I just wanted to make sure everybody heard that lunch tomorrow is at the board lunch is at Walden, but it's going to be at 12:15 if you can make it. I'll be there.
Are you gonna do the Wrightson thing?
I'll be there. Yes, it's going to be a great day. Wrightson, White Elephant, then lunch. It's nothing but good. That's the way we like it. Yes, sir.
Like in the Border Patrol, we get all three meals in on one shift. That was like.
Like a bonus. It's a bonus.
Yep.
That was nice. That was nice.
Well, so you heard the cookies are?
I did.
You better believe it.
See any chocolate chips?
And I'm ready when you are. That was neat. It was neat. No. That's what made it fun. Yes, and Betsy's already got it. Just so that everybody can be there. Yes.
Madam President,
It was-
I did have something to say. I kind of got cut off. Is it okay now? Yeah. I just wanted to share a little story. So you were the first board member I actually met. Yeah, I was out collecting signatures, and I knocked on your door, and yeah, knocked on your, and your husband answered, and I said, "Hi, my name is Raul Rodriguez, and I'm running for school board." And he said, "Oh, my wife's on the school board." Really? So you came to the door and you introduced yourself, and we talked. They were very, very nice. And I said, "Well, will you sign my sheet?" I can't, because you already signed Kevin and John.
Yeah.
But it was all good. But I just want you to know, in 2 years, I'll be knocking on your door again. Okay? I will be knocking on your door again in 2 years.
Raul, I'll let you know, like in 2 years, I will collect signatures for you. How's
I'm
that?
gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Like
I'm
I
gonna
will
hold you
totally show. But you know what? We had to make sure like people who run for this position are running for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And so I know I grilled you, but you passed the test. And
Well-
let me tell you, it's been nothing. I would vote for everybody on this board and then some. I would walk 10 miles. So yeah, it's been an honor to serve with all of you.
Well, thank you so much. I just want to say thank you so much for mentoring me.
Okay.
You know, we met at the annual. You were super nice. You know, you
Yeah.
took me under your wing. You showed me all the rooms. We went to class or those
Breakout
those
sessions.
breakout sessions together, and I enjoyed that.
Oh,
I
that's
learned a
good.
lot from you. So thank you so much.
No problem. We look forward to doing that next week with Amy.
Amy, you got some big shoes to
Amy.
fill. Amy, you got big shoes.
All right.
Everyone's gonna be looking at you. Come in, president, right off the bat.
You can. Well, I want you to know, like, okay, I lost my glasses, and I don't know where my agenda is.
So I'm going to add to Raul's.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I don't
okay.
know if you remember or not,
Like, where'd my glasses go?
but I did a call to the public.
Oh, yes, I do remember about the pool, wasn't it?
And you actually afterwards came up and talked to me. And you asked if I was going to run for the board. And that kind of is what spurred me on a little bit. So I think you've grown your own, so to speak, along the way.
She can reach now. No.
Well, I can, like, I'd be borrowing Manny's. We'd be like,
We are a team. We are a team.
is this mine?
Probably.
Oh, so
yes,
you
madam.
took it.
Yeah, well, sort of. True confessions.
Okay. All right. Well, thank everybody online for being so patient in the community. And it's always fun to give those at the end of December. A lot of excitement. And it's a way to end the year with having the recognition of our community and our staff. So we will move on to call to public. Do we have any call to public tonight? We do not. Thank you very much. And so we will move on to new business. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, President Lowe, members of the board. I never cease to be amazed at the tremendous intellect, knowledge, and dedication of our faculty and staff. Every year, Mr. Bonner and now Mrs. Robinson go through this process of soliciting new course proposals. And now, this doesn't mean that the course will go, you know, it has to do with choices and elective choices and things like that. But when I see the diversity, the robustness, the rigor, the high interest, and the relevance of the things that our students can choose from, it makes me very proud. And so through that process this evening, we have a list of courses that I'm going to ask you to approve because, believe it or not, as soon as we come back from the holiday, it's time to start getting ready for the next year, and they need to be on the schedule of classes. I'll just highlight a couple, and then I'll ask Darlene and Brett to say any comments that they'd like to make. But air transportation, as in flying, veterinary assistant, Linux system administration, historical debate, comparative government. I mean, it's really, these are like really deep, high-level courses. And so I'm proud. And so Darlene, Brett, comments about this process and any of these offerings.
So thank you, Dr. Valenzuela. Our new assistant superintendent, Mr. Robinson, will be presenting the new course proposals this evening and also able as a team to support any inquiries that you may have.
Dr. Sparks, thank you for always helping out your team. Well, thank you, Dr. Valenzuela, Madam President, Sherry Lowell. Thank you, Mr. Lowell, for sharing your amazing wife with our community and your amazing children as well, and members of our board and our community. As Dr. Valenzuela said, we have a great opportunity to provide our students with additional opportunities to learn and grow. 19 total proposals. Give me a wink if you want me to read all 19, but I will tell you, it looks like you do. And and I will tell you, a lot of these come with a certificate for early employment. So it's really exciting. The first, and all of these come with the support and collaboration of Sahuarita High School administration and teachers, Walden Grove administration and teachers, and our Sahuarita Digital Pathways administration and teachers. So this is exciting news. We have CTE elective dual enrollment course proposals. They're aligned with computer science CTE programs. As Dr. B mentioned, CIS 137 is the introduction to the Linux operating system. The second course is the Linux system and network administration. So a lot of these courses build upon themselves. So if you're really interested, you can continue to dig deeper and become more of an expert in that area of interest. Our third CTE course proposal is veterinary assistant. And as a former elementary middle school teacher, one of the number one professions that our students would say would be PE teacher and then veterinarian. So pretty exciting news here. The fourth one is also CTE. It is air transportation. And again, as I mentioned, entry level employment, further training, and post-secondary education, where future occupations could be a private pilot, co-pilot, and unmanned aircraft. So I love that pathway from education to an opportunity for an excellent vocation as well. The fifth CTE course is aircraft mechanics, because you can't fly if it doesn't work. And also this one has a post-secondary and entry-level employment opportunity. In addition, we have under new course proposals for foreign language. This is an exciting piece because we need more and more opportunities to expand our foreign language. And this one is American Sign Language, levels 1, 2, 3. So there is an opportunity to really become fluent after these courses are taken by our students, and then it can go into either a vocation or extended knowledge with American Sign Language at the collegiate level. The ninth course request is for American Historical Debate as an elective, and I'm sure in your packet, board packet, you saw all the amazing teachers that are really interested. These are experts wanting to extend the opportunities for the students they serve. And there's nothing better than a teacher who's excited about the content and knows their students and really wants them to get excited on the world around them. We have American Songbook, History of American Music elective, AP Comparative Government. 12th course is Intro to Computer Life Skills. 13th is Sports Nutrition, which a lot of freshmen and sophomores at the collegiate level are really interested. It's a popular major. The 15th one is American Songbook, History of American Music. And the scope and sequence is pretty deep, where we're starting off with like indigenous and colonial roots all the way to Unit 5, which is the Great Depression and folk music. So we're spanning from the 1700s all the way to the 1930s. And, they say music is the soundtrack of your life. We get to learn history and this amazing lens. So this is exciting. It also has a semester 2 component with World War II and post-war America from the 1940s, and ending with Unit 10 with American music in the 21st century. The 16th course is AP Comparative Government. Also gives opportunities for students to do a lot of collaborative work with speeches, debates, analysis, comparison. So we're really in that higher level of Bloom's taxonomy where the students are doing a lot of that heavy lifting and learning. The 17th course is Intro to Computer Life Skills. And as you know, for me, I became a digital, I would say, literate person, but I wasn't a digital native, right? We know worlds before cell phones where our own students we serve do not. So it's very nice for them to be able to be given opportunities to really understand the options on Google Suites for both collegiate and vocational and career college readiness. And it, again, the scope and sequence continues to become more advanced. And the 18th course is Intro to Computer Life Skills elective. And that too goes from vocabulary to Canva, all the way to Room Toto, which is interior design. There's a lot of apps and games and opportunities to do that. And it also is a growing major and vocational pathway. And as a fan of Magnolia and the Gaines family, you too can have that option. Number 19, sports nutrition. As I mentioned, this is a growing popular course, and it's everything from calories and to protein, micronutrients, down to personal nutrition evaluation and energy system. So it's very holistic. I applaud the administrative teams at our 3 high schools, our 2 high schools in SDPA, who's a K-12, and all of the staff who are willing to think in and outside of the box to deliver a vast course experiences for our students, and at a perfect time because we're going into January, as Dr. Valenzuela stated, and this provides us an opportunity to plan ahead for possible funding if some of these courses need it, or staffing, and to include them in that option of course proposal so we can register and get students excited for the upcoming school year.
Quick question for you, Ms. Robinson. I noticed that a couple of those classes, I think the Linux was the one that came to mind, says that it's worth 3 credits, which to me says that it's also, and I'm asking that it's a dual enrollment class. And the reason I ask is in personal conversations with the provost at Pima College, I understand that for next year, they're not adding any new dual enrollment. Now we're good. Thankfully, we have a very robust offering. And so what, could you just react to the anticipated action plan in regards to that dual enrollment issue with some of these classes that are aligned with those offerings?
You are correct. Our Sahuarita High School has the opportunity to have an extensive dual enrollment partnership with PCC. And this, once it's approved, it means that it is now going to be available in time to all of our students, which is great, because if not now, then when, and that when will be coming sooner than later.
Hopefully next year.
Yes.
Thank you. And with that, I would recommend approval of the 25-26 new course proposals as they've been presented.
We have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
Madam President. So quick question, if there was one additional AP class in there, how many AP classes did we teach this year? Do you know, happen to offhand? I know it fluctuates by the year, right?
We have over 30 approved EP classes.
So this would be 31?
Will be 31. I couldn't give you the exact number. I can get that. I have to research it, but I would say over 50%. But it fluctuates based on the teacher of that content area and or the demand of what students are seeking. But we have 30, soon to be 31, hopefully, AP offerings.
So I mean, the reason this concept of advanced classes and options, I went on, so we have 31, well now today I'm assuming we'll have 31 AP course offerings out of the 39 possible. So I didn't realize that there's only there's 39 AP courses. Then I pulled up one of the larger schools that happens to be a charter school in Tucson, people try to go run to for AP training. And if we had 31 today, that'll put us 6 more AP offerings in our course catalog than they have. I think I appreciate the effort, and I say this publicly because I think we have people that live here that don't realize you can take more AP classes here than you can at a 50-minute drive away every day in a minivan with 10 other people trying to get people back and forth. And also get all of the extracurriculars that come from a traditional public school. So I mean, when we talk about curriculum and all of these classes, I mean, some of these are dual enrollment classes. That means you not only get credit in high school, you get credit in college. I know my children have benefited heavily from dual enrollment core classes. There was a time when I sat on this board when we had 1 or 2 core courses. Most of them were CTE. But now we have many. Like you can almost finish an associate's degree in high school. And so I think I think we need to be better at that and talking about these courses. And I do know that sometimes people apply for a course and we don't teach it because if one person wants it, then it's harder. But I just wanted to ask that. I think adding another, so 31 on our course catalog. That's pretty amazing that we have the staff, the capacity, the expertise to teach up to 31 AP courses. So I guess my point is thank you for doing that. And all the other courses, sports nutrition. I mean, how many high schools are offering a specific class to sports nutrition? And that's a pretty big deal. So as well as veterinary assistant and Linux administration, which, I got my Linux administration manual on the bookshelf. So that's a big deal. So I think that was my question is, so we'll have 31 after today, hopefully.
And Dr. Sparks, if I may, and Mrs. Robinson alluded to this earlier about the process. It goes back 2 months where we work with school leadership. They work closely with their teaching staff. Teachers in our district have an opportunity to put a course proposal together. They're aligned to the state standards and or the dual enrollment institution that we partner with. And it just has grown tremendously. So it's really a team effort from classroom teachers to school-based leadership to district leadership. And as you referenced, a robust offering of dual enrollment and advanced placement courses district-wide. We are in a very healthy situation with our course offerings.
Thank you. And I think I want to add to that. All of our teachers are teachers that are certified or licensed by the state of Arizona to teach. It's another point. Like our teaching staff are all licensed teachers. That's correct. They're certified teachers, right, from the Board of Education. And I think that's another thing that's important. We didn't find someone who has a degree in something and say, oh, you can be a teacher. If we did, they have to go through the teacher program. They have to learn to be a teacher. So as we talk about, am I correct on that as a whole? I know we have some people in transition.
Yeah,
Right.
no, and there's been an increased level of flexibility over time because of just the demand. But our commitment is to make sure that we maintain fidelity to being resourceful, tapping talent where we can identify it, but also working to provide professional development support, college coaching, and advising so that they can achieve all of those credentials that are necessary to be fully certified.
And I'm not discrediting anybody who's not fully certified. The point is that the effort of the district is always, if I understand, to help teachers that maybe came from industry into our schools to reach that certified teacher perspective, potential. And I just think that's important. Sorry, I'm getting on my soapbox a little bit.
Well, in addition to the state certifications, our dual enrollment offerings with the Higher Learning Commission, they have very rigorous, high demand criteria in order to teach a college level course, such as a master's degree. They have to meet certain content experience to be eligible or credentialed to teach dual enrollment. And all of our dual enrollment teachers have been vetted and meet that criteria to do so within our district.
So, and essentially they are college professors. They have their criteria
Correct.
to teach your people. And I think that's another thing people don't realize is that Sahuarita High School has a special designation as a basically an accredited extension of Pima Community College. So we have so many options, dual enrollment, and this just adds more, that we had to go and get a separate, like, we're accredited along with Pima Community College, basically. Is that a good way to put that?
Yes.
So
Yes.
when people ask me about dual enrollment, I regularly say that. They're not, it's just not a teacher we picked. Like, these teachers could teach at Pima. They meet that criteria of accreditation for Pima Community
They must be
College.
qualified or they cannot teach a
cannot
dual
teach.
enrollment
That's it.
class, right? And just for the record, because I know it was mentioned in the introduction to the question that I asked, Pima has its own process with, as you mentioned, the Higher Learning Commission, which is a national accrediting body for higher education. They're in process, and we are in good stead and in good standing. What happened is they did Sahuarita first. They have Walden in process, and the process on Pima has encountered some procedural steps that have perhaps slowed that down a little bit, but it's still in process and it's going to happen. It's just at a different step.
Thank you. Sorry, thank you for expanding the offerings. And maybe no one watches this video when it goes up on YouTube, but at least I said it out loud. I hope they do. I do recognize, actually, Ms. Woods told me that the number of people who watch it post is actually fairly reasonable. And so I think the public needs to know that we have 31 AP classes here. You don't need to drive away. You don't need to go find somewhere else. We have qualified, eager teachers to teach those courses. And then on top of that, we have enough dual enrollment courses taught by people who are qualified to teach at the college level here to almost get an associate's degree in high school. So when people talk about costs and opportunities, and that opportunity is here. It's not, and the reality is, if you look at where most of our students go for college, they're not going to some random university in Alabama or Tennessee or New York. We have a few every year, but the super majority of our students go to NAU, ASU, U of A, Pima. A couple of the Cochise, a couple of, Eastern Arizona, but a couple of Mesa Community, but they go to, it's got to be over 90% go to state schools.
Oh, yeah.
And so why not help those kids meet that? And we are doing that. I think we need to advertise that more.
And Dr. Sparks, the board has been very clear as we've expanded and grown our dual enrollment and AP course offerings to have access to all students. So for example, if we have a teacher that is credentialed and highly qualified or under the HLC, Higher Learning Commission, accredited to teach, for example, AP Physics, but we only have one teacher, we work with our high school administrators to either put it first period, fifth period, sixth period, and work out ways where students, if they're at Walden, can still get over to Walden, or if they're it's only offered at SHS, Walden students can get over to SHS. So we do a lot of creative and innovative scheduling to make sure that students do have access if it's down to just one teacher in our course offerings.
And I know I appreciate that. I think that goes to show the flexibility that we really try to put into our curriculum so that students can achieve the goal they want to achieve. Is it 100% of the time? No, well, because we live in the world of constraints. But for the most part, if a student wants something, they can take it.
Yes.
My own children have gone back and forth to take classes that were only offered at Walden or Sahuarita, and so I think I'm just grateful for that. And thank you. And I know we work hard to allow students to meet the needs of the path they want to follow in their educational career. So. Thank you.
Options become opportunities.
Options become
opportunities. Get you on the road to meeting your goals.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox now. Thank you.
It's a good soapbox. We don't mind that soapbox. It's a good one. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. And we'll move on to item number B. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, President Lowe, members of the board. This item is about the fee schedule, and as my colleagues can attest, when this annual process takes place, I usually begin with the fact that in public education, job one is to provide our students with a free and appropriate public education. That's what the law says. And so when we look at this, as the law does allow for fees to be charged, we look through the requirements of the law, that there truly has to be a unique programmatic element, whether it's materials or supplies or a program participation that is required, that really does go above and beyond the baseline level. But I always use three guidelines. Number one, it needs to be a clear need. Number two is, if we're going to charge the fee, it's going to be the minimum that is required to clearly meet that need. And number three is, we will leave no child behind. If somebody otherwise wants to participate and is qualified, they will not be denied just because they can't pay the fee. And so with that in mind, I'd like to ask, it looks like Mrs. Robinson, with perhaps maybe Mr. Bonners is passing the baton.
Very much so.
Thank you,
And
Mr. Bonner.
Yes.
that's what good
Here's my
coaches do.
baton.
That's what coaches do.
He
But
calls
she's,
it
but he's going to tell us a little bit about this process, and more particularly about the identified items where we did deem as a team it made sense to make some change. Darlene?
Excellent. This evening, as you see before you, is our proposed fee schedule for 2025-2026. And as Dr. Valenzuela clearly articulated those three litmus tests, I feel that each one of the fees that you see in red are the ones that either have increased in cost or are new to the fee schedule. So if you take a look at elementary, we have music instrument rental fee for 5th grade, and it is increased by $5 and has gone to $40, but does match the music instrument rental fee at middle school. And the reason that's an important correlation is because even though we have shifted middle school to a 2 elective schedule, and 5th grade no longer has orchestra and band options during the school day, a lot of our elementary schools or K-8 schools have continued the practice of clubs in both band and orchestra. And as you know, it's so much less expensive to rent from the school the instrument than it is to go to an outside source. And with all good things that are used, and we know repetition is an aid for memory, that as you practice, there needs to be repairs. And this also will help meet the increased cost of repairs, as well as giving our teachers an opportunity to have different instruments of interest available for our students. In middle school, the red that you see first is athletic fee. Historically, for the last 16 years, that fee has been $25. And during those 16 years, we have increased that athletic fee, also known as pay to play, for high school, but we have left the middle school fee untouched. And doing some research to our neighbors in the east, even at $35, we're more than half. They are more than half more expensive. They're at $75. And as you know, that $35 goes to loss and to replace uniforms. And those get a lot of good wear and tear, especially our athletes are awesome. In addition to other repairs and increased costs. And as you know, things have increased in cost, so that also encompasses that. Digital media, photography, videography, and yearbook. A lot of digital equipment comes at a cost, so do the repairs, and they become obsolete pretty quickly. And then we have to save this this art form into not discs, but like drives, etc. And this really helps with that cost to help to defer it with the equipment. Music instrument rental fee, again, it correlates to the elementary, and now they're both the same, which makes sense because it supports our middle school band and orchestra program. Under high schools, for the advanced placement exam fee, as Dr. Sparks stated, we have great opportunities for our students to have that increased rigor, options as well. It does does come at a nominal fee, more than if you would pay tuition at our community colleges in town as well as our state college in town. It is $99, but please know that that is not set by us. It is set by the college board. And as you scroll down to the middle of our high school fee schedule, we have dance, beginning dance and intermediate advanced company. As you know, our dance department continues to excel in many ways. That $30 and $60 change of cost is to offset costume costs and equipment. A lot of that show factor is to have varieties of costumes to bring that theme or that performance to life, and a lot of those costumes have been put on the child initially or the child's family, and this will help to have a little bit more of a repertoire to be used without a heavier increase of costs if they would to buy it on their own. As far as Key Club fee, as a former member of Key Club, it is a national fee for a service club, so that too was posed by Key Club. And then last but not least is the $18 for the PSAT. I know the PSAT at 8th grade is awesome to have it before you even get to your freshman year. And then as we know, at a sophomore year, taking it gives you an opportunity to really know where your strengths are and what areas you would need to continue to study for and then close that gap. And that is an $18 fee. So with these fees in front of you, again, we try our best to see the clear need, have the minimum costs, and as all people and stewards of our public, we want to make sure that none of these fees affect a child or a family that this might be a financial burden. So please know we definitely support all interested parties.
And with that, I would recommend approval of the 2025-26 fee schedule as it was presented this evening.
Thank you very much. I have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion?
Madam President,
Yes, Dr.
I'm just curious. I didn't see a fee. Is there a fee to take a dual enrollment class in high school?
Yes.
So all that college credit you get with a dual enrollment does not have a fee?
Yeah.
Thank you. I just thought I'd put that out there.
What about the books? Since he asked, I'm just curious.
So yeah, there may be fees associated to some of the textbooks that are
Yeah,
aligned
my
to the
book.
college. Yeah, possibly. And most of the books are online, digital platform, digital tech book. But those are fees that are part of the course through that institution such as Pima College.
So they may have to pay for a book,
Correct.
for example, but they don't have to pay for the college credit.
Correct.
What's a credit cost at Pima right now?
I don't know the exact number.
$100.
616. Is
Nope.
that fee absorbed through a program that we have with our school district, or is that in all
No,
schools?
it's a function of the way the community colleges are funded. We
Okay.
have ADM, they get something called FTSE, it's the equivalent of ADM. So the way that they're able to justify it is they're able to claim that income stream through that ADM corollary, basically.
It-
So it's a win-win for
It
them
is.
and it's a win-win for
And that's
us.
as long as they're under 18?
Pardon?
Is that because they're under the funding, is it because of they're under the age of 18 or no?
You know, I don't know
High
if it
school
has an
age?
age requirement or if they can claim FTSE
No,
for all of their
I think they
students.
can.
Okay,
There's no-
good to
yeah.
know.
And I think Mr. Downs here looked out for me. It's $100.50 a credit. So a 3-credit course costs $300 normally at Pima. If you take it through us, you got to pay for the book potentially.
That's great.
I
You'd have,
just-
you'd have
yeah.
to pay for the book.
As
at
we
Pima.
talk about fees and taking AP classes, having children that have taken 2, 3, 4, 5, the fees add up,
Yeah.
when you're talking about that. So just thought I'd point that out.
As of this year,
As of this year.
yep, and years
you know,
past, there's been no charge for dual enrollment with Pima Community College,
Pima
which is a
Community College.
great partnership.
Thank you.
And those credits transfer.
And
Yeah.
most of them are directly, I mean, it's always smart to make sure they transfer under the Arizona Generally Accepted Curriculum. And so they go directly to U of A, NAU, and whatever that other school is, Brett.
We don't know.
Gotta give Brett a hard time. That's what, yes. But yeah, a lot of those dual enrollments, some of them are community college associate's degree level course, right? I mean, and they don't transfer out of the community college, but many, like almost all of our academic dual enrollments transfer directly to the
Correct.
state university system.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to item number 9, Dr. Valenzuela, new business. Item A, Walden Grove High School.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, President Lowe, members of the board. This is, one of the many exciting, promising, future-ready things we're doing is delivering on multiple new building renovation, addition, and construction projects. And this one is unique because this is a project that is a partnership, the direct partnership with the Arizona School Facilities Oversight Board. And so we received funding to support, based on student enrollment growth, the expansion of Walden Grove High School. And part of that had to do with our approved plan and layout is our need to move these tennis courts or to change, I guess Scott would call it site conditions or sites. And so we received money to do that. As you remember when Walden Grove opened, those of us that remember when Walden Grove opened, it opened with 4 tennis courts, which in my 35 and a half years in this profession, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. But we have this opportunity right now. And again, the SFB is paying through their investment in this total project and the site conditions for a majority of this particular GMP cost. And of course, through the support of our local community, it's a partnership. We have bond dollars that are offsetting the rest of the cost. But this is a project to create 6 new high school tennis courts, just like Sahuarita High School has. It's an addition. Again, it's primarily funded out of the SFB with supplement from our local bond dollars, and the total amount of the GMP through core construction is $1,593,904. And I would recommend approval of that GMP at this time so we can sign it and keep these projects moving forward.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So second.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
Madam President, I think Ray would be very happy. I just got to say that out loud. Ray has been asking for 6 courts out there forever.
Yeah, long time. That'll be good. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Item number B, Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, ma'am. And I think this item really speaks to what many of you have said, and I think you probably said it multiple times, Mrs. Lowe, which is about the importance of the compass and the vision and the purpose of people who sit behind these seats, sit behind these dais. And this seems like a little thing, but one of the things we do every month is we invite the board to come to a lunch, to eat a school lunch at the schools, to interact with students and to see what's going on, to visit firsthand every school in the course of a year. And so this item emerged because our historical for many years has been that we do it after one of the board meetings on a Thursday. And what I heard from multiple of you in individual conversations is that perhaps if we could adjust it to another day like Monday, that it might be more amenable and workable for more of you, because in as much as your busy schedules will allow, you want to come to as many of these, and you want to have these school lunches, interact with kids and staff, and see what's going on. So that's where this came about. And so we took that, and Betsy looked at the calendar, and basically what she did is she shifted it starting in January. If you choose, we already have a calendar in place, but if you choose to change it, it will be on Monday, and it'll be the Monday after the board meeting. Now, I will confess, we did have to make a couple of adjustments because, the calendar. Some Mondays we have holidays, so we can't do it after those, so we might have to do 2 a month instead of 1, but it will always be on Monday, and they'll be, pending your approval, they'll be in place tonight so that you'll know when they are. We can let the schools know. And so you have the final draft of the recommended calendar for the governing board school lunch schedule for calendar year 2025 in your packet. And I welcome you, whether you'd like to come on Thursday or Monday, but if this works well for you, I present it to you for your consideration.
Thank you very much.
It's, if you wish, no, if you wish to do it, somebody would need to motion it for approval and have a discussion and vote.
Do you want to just thank you? Okay, Madam President.
Okay, thank you.
Madam
Make a motion.
No, I was just going to make a motion to go ahead and approve the calendar as it's been presented on this the revised calendar as presented.
I have a recommendation. Motion second. Any discussion? How's that fit for you guys?
I think it'd be wonderful to see on there, copper view.
Yeah.
Little chairs. Yep.
Once-
Want to see that. See how it's neat.
I just checked the entire year just now, kind of scrolled through my phone. I double checked all these dates, and
works.
I only have one conflict out of the next 12
Oh,
months, so
Great.
I'm excited about that. Thursdays have always been hard for me.
Calendar stops for me. Amy, Mondays work? Okay.
It's great.
So we're good? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. I voted for Amy. I got you. You were like right on that one. All right. Thank you very much. We'll move on to item number C, policy revisions. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, Madam President, low members of the board. As you know, we've been working really hard, and Betsy has been a true champion of helping us catch up with a lot of those ASBA policy advisories, mostly legislatively driven, but given a lot of the changes that went on, we were a little bit behind. I think after this, we will be caught up, I believe. This particular one, JH, is one that is a Sahuarita specific policy. So we don't have the template that ASBA provides. And you probably remember on attendance that we put our own customized criteria for what constitutes an excuse and gave some provisions for parents to excuse absences up to a certain amount with some provisions, et cetera. So, but there was a law passed that requires the list of excuses to explicitly mention illnesses involving like mental health and mental wellness and things like that. So we have to change it to comply with the law, and that's the reason why we're bringing that back again. It's been on a first read already, and so at this time, I do recommend the policy revision for policy JH, student absences and excuses, as it's presented in your packet.
I have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Good one. I like the additional wording on that.
It just adds clarification.
It adds
so it's
clarification, which
perfect.
is good. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. We will move on to item number D. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, President Lowell, members of the board. These are advisories that did come to us as a formal advisory or as a package, if you will, a numbered package from ASBA. Again, largely emerging from outcomes of the last legislative session, which, interestingly enough, the legislature is getting ready to go back into session here next month. So that perhaps that's timely, but just if you recall, we've talked about them before. These are things that pertain to like additional flexibility in the makeup of a local school's site council, for example. It's about specific elements that must be included in an emergency response plan. You may have seen the news article recently about ADE's review of emergency plans. And of course, that's something that we have very laser-like focus all the time, and certainly right now. And so this policy involves formalizing and clarifying those updated requirements. There's a policy in there about the expedited enrollment of foster children. That came from the legislature. To me, it resonates somewhat with a lot of the accommodations that we put into place for students under the McKinney-Vento, the federal law for homeless education. And there's additional changes, mostly statute changes about where and how we're required to conduct climate surveys, which we have, continue to do, and what we do is fully compliant with the requirements of law. So that's just a couple of them. Again, this is the second reading, so at this time I would recommend approval of those noted policy advisories under item 9D as presented.
No recommendation. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. And we will move on to consent agenda. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, ma'am. You have in your packet a comprehensive list of consent matters that may be considered in one comprehensive motion. And at this time, I do recommend the approval of the consent agenda in its entirety.
I have a recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion is second. Any discussion? We have buses up for sale on auction. I'm always going to be looking on the auction list. That's pretty amazing stuff in there. All right. I have new
That's
buses
right,
on the way. I
Lizette.
know that. I mean, that's like right. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. And then we will move on to establish the next board meeting, January 8th, here in the district auditorium. We have no executive session. I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Do that right? My very
Yeah.
last one. Did I screw it? Any discussion?
So hold on, if we don't adjourn, like you're stuck. 'Cause-
No.
I mean, I like Amy too.
No, I know there is an end date on the certification or something, whatever that is. All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. Woo.